Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek, the Mandalorian edition. I think I'm just going to shut up now because everyone wants to be mean to me. You guys don't even know what was happening before we hit record.
Oh, who started it?
Yeah, who started
it?
There's a
You
reason,
were-
though. That's the problem.
Oh.
You were so mean. You literally drained all the color from my face.
I am literally starting to sink into the swamp of sadness again, and we don't want that to happen. So,
Oh no, we'll lift you up.
oh, okay, that made it all better. Okay, so we are talking Mandalorian season 2, episode 5. Mark my words, the next episode is going to be a filler, but we will get to that because this episode was amazing. And let's just concentrate on the good right now instead of the bad that I'm expecting next week.
Not necessarily.
We'll talk. We will talk in a minute, I promise. So, from the first absolutely positive person here, we have Miss Satomi. How are you doing today? What's with the background? This is weird.
I am in quarantine in a hotel for a shoot. So
Bang.
they bang. So this is actually a first for me. I've shot a couple of things since El Corona started, and this is the first time I've done an out of towner. But we're all being super duper tested. Whenever we do any of these, we're tested like at least 3 times. So
How's your nose?
They've been gentle this time, which is
okay.
good. Which is good, but I feel like if I wanted to take up some illicit drugs, I'd be prepared. So that's about it.
Well, I mean, all you Hollywood or all you Broadway types do that, right? Yeah, you do. Don't lie. We all know the secret. Watch. All I'm saying is, if you didn't listen to the Phantom episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. You will. Yeah. Oh, so definitely check out that last episode. Okay, and also on the top of the screen, we have Miss Cheeky Chi, Christina. How are you doing today? Why is the light so bright?
Because I moved out of my office, and the lighting I ordered on Amazon is delayed. So.
And you just edited yourself, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'm channeling my mom, apparently.
So
There's like 5 people that get the joke, but they're all laughing. Okay, and now we have our resident expert, Chris Giorgetti. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am so excited to talk about this episode.
Oh my gosh.
I'm at a loss for words right now. There's so much to talk about.
Then we are definitely going to have trouble if you can't talk today. Because you're kind of our go-to guy. Come on now.
everybody's just going to have to like connect the thoughts with him.
Yes.
It's definitely like certain Jedis did with a certain child.
Yes, exactly.
Did you communicate? Kind of. That was the most non-committal, crappy answer in the world. Okay, and finally, we have my buddy Skeeter. How are you doing, sir? And welcome to the Mandalorian panel.
I am fantabulous. I think that's a word. I'm great.
Sure.
I'm actually enamored by this panel, but even more by Chris's excitement. Like,
you can tell. You can tell he's trying to impress Chris because he's using big words. I've known Skeeter a lot of years. This is when he's trying to impress somebody. It's fantabulous, and I'm enamored to be here. No, Skeeter, we all know your full crap.
Dad, you deserve people being mean to you.
Wow.
Sorry.
Let the record show that I was not mean to Dub. I just want to put that out there.
He really wants to stay on the show. I'm just saying. He's bored during quarantine. Like, don't kick me off the show.
It's true.
No, let's be honest, Chris. With all the knowledge you have brought in the last few weeks, I think the only person that's safer than you is me because I hit records.
Thank you.
And I think we're all okay with that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, let's jump right in this episode and let's skip the chit chat because this episode, I think they can't top the one from a couple weeks ago, and then they do it by a lot. This is the best episode of the series so far. Let's start with the I guess elephant in the room. The child has a name, and it sounds like bad anime, but I'm okay with it. It is
It's either the
Groku.
child or he's a new Pokemon character.
Groku sounds like he's definitely Pokemon. Wow, which
Like
sign
if
is
you
it?
say it with a Japanese accent, Grogu.
Because you could do that, yeah.
Yes. Grogu-san. Ah.
Wow. Okay, I hope you guys are watching this on video, because otherwise people can get mad at us.
No. I'm Japanese, y'all. I grew up with this. I'm just channeling my mom here.
It's all good. So what do we think of the? Let's start with this before we get to the new character that we met. Let's talk about the name of Grogu. Are we happy with this name? Or I mean, I think it's a little silly, but I'm okay with it. And I loved that the character that is still unnamed, that we'll talk about in a minute, kept pushing that in your face. Look, kid, no, his name. 4 times said, no, say Grogu. And that wasn't to him. That was to all of us. So we stopped calling him Baby Yoda. Any thoughts on the name? Let's start with Cheeky Chi.
I'm struggling not to call him Grow Groot.
Yeah. Like somebody brought up before that he has these kind of similarities. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not absolutely hating the name, but I do think it's definitely an adjustment, because Yoda, it's such an iconic name. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, I don't remember when I was a kid, maybe I felt the same way, like, what's a Yoda? But I need time for it to grow on me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Satomi.
When I first heard it, I was like, but honestly, I actually caught on pretty quickly, and I think it's because, and I know we're going to talk about her in a minute, but the said new character committed to it so
Uh-huh.
well and made it sound so natural that honestly, and early on, that honestly, I bought into it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Now, when I hear a straight up American accent going like Grogu, then it's like,
Grogu.
no.
Like me? Is that what
No.
you're saying? Is that towards
Well,
me?
well,
I'm
not saying
I'm
it.
an Irish guy in Las Vegas. What do you want from me? And it's Nevada, not Nevada. Sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Wait, what?
What? Who said that? What? I'm gonna save Chris for last. Skeeter, what did you think of the name of the child?
Um, I I think it was brought on like a bomb. Like there was no leading into it. It was straight up Grogu.
Yeah.
And I went, wait, who? Wait, is that its name? Okay. Not what I was expecting, but I was okay with it.
I do think that was the only way to introduce the name, is to put it in your face, like hardcore, because
Yeah.
otherwise, let's be honest, we're still saying Baby Yoda. Chris, what about you, bud?
As soon as the new character said Grogu's name, I was like, oh, he's got a name. Ah! I was like, oh, sorry if that was loud.
No, that was cool.
Okay. The entire episode did so many unexpected things that I was just floored by the whole thing. But when we learned Baby Yoda's name is Grogu, I'm just like, oh, yes. And it's a simple name. It's not like some like convoluted long ass name. Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
shouldn't be. You're fine. Go ahead.
Sorry. They tell me not to curse because, believe it or not, I do have a mouth of a sailor.
You earned a guitar, so I'm just saying.
But yeah, Baby Yoda, Grogu, we just have more names for this lovely, lovely character. I loved it.
I am personally glad it wasn't cute, because I think they need to get away from cute. If it would have been Tim or something like that, I would have been like, more cute stuff. I'm kind of done.
Or even if they called him like Baby Grogu, I don't think it would have worked.
No.
I will say this: when she sat down to talk with him, I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was already getting excited at that point when they were having that private conversation. I knew that we were going to find out. So I was ready for it. And then I was like, huh.
So
See, I knew it was coming
yeah.
because, somebody in our chat group
I was
started
about to say
screaming
that.
about the
Yeah.
fact that he had a name
I didn't give
before
it.
I watched it.
Okay, now to be fair, I was so excited when I watched this. It's like 6 a.m, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he has a name. The baby Yoda has a name. And I immediately get on our Mandalorian chat, and I'm like, the baby has a name. The baby has a name. And I think that Christina's like, what are you talking about? And
Well,
Chris like jumps up out of bed to go watch the Mandalorian.
It was
Yeah.
at that point in
Yeah.
time that you were dead to me, just to be clear.
I had actually watched it at 2:00 in the morning, and you said what you said, and then Chris followed up with food coma, so I thought something completely different.
It was post Thanksgiving. I don't know what you want.
I have 5 brothers, so they named things with a lot of pride. So
and let's be honest, our chat isn't exactly family friendly. So yeah, it went downhill fast.
and that's why we got the exploding emoji.
But I will say this, even though Dub kind of spoiled it, didn't take
That's what I
away
was
from
going to
the
ask.
moment.
Did that take away from it?
No, it didn't. It was
A little.
Did it? I'm sorry.
For me, it did. I still love you. You're not totally dead to me. You're like, floating face down in a pool, but I might pull you out and resuscitate you.
This is a really powerful lesson for me too, because I actually almost messaged you, Satomi, just you, about it after I watched it in the middle of the night, and I was like, but she's the one that'll be up. I'm gonna text her, and then I didn't. So, oh, thank God.
I am always down with a "Have you watched it yet?" Question mark.
Okay. If you're wondering what just happened and why there was a sudden screen wipe, and everyone's in different positions now, we had a technical glitch, and I know it creeped everybody out. I think the Force was not with me on that one. Grogu got mad that I was making fun of his name, so
Grogu don't play.
Grogu don't play.
He forced you right there.
He did. See, that was some of that morality issues we talked about. We'll get to that. We'll get back. I had more morality issues this week, but not as bad.
Well, I think it was the point this week, but we'll talk about it in a minute.
Speaking of morality issues, okay, and what we were just talking about is the spoiler thing. Now, I mean, this is why we are pretty touchy about spoilers and all that. What is your guys? I know that I kind of ruined it for Satomi, and Chris didn't care.
I mean, I'm sure that we have listeners who are like me, which is I like to go in if I'm going to see a movie, if I'm going to see a show, if I'm going to watch a TV show, I don't want to know anything about it. If I go see musical theater, I don't listen to the soundtrack because I want it to wash over me and to be able to have that experience of everything being a surprise and everything being new. So, as I said, Dub, you're dead to me, but that's okay. We'll rekindle you and resuscitate you.
I love you too.
Point.
Hey.
Yep.
But something very different on my end. Like if I go to a musical, I cannot enjoy it unless I've heard the music first.
I think that's probably because if your ear's not tuned to it taking in story-driven dialogue that is sung, if you're not used to it, then it's going to be harder to understand. So you almost have to.
Fair enough.
But I love it.
But with that being said, that's why we try to stop all the spoilers on the page, and we've deleted some posts and all that. And I do apologize because you guys have some great insight and all that, but I apologize. But it's not fair to everybody else when we spoil things. Now, with that being said, next time I watch Mandalorian before everybody else, I guarantee you're getting a text and saying, "Oh my gosh, did you see this?" And y'all cuss at me. But that's. I think it's different from when you're putting it out on the internet to when you're putting it out with friends. I think that's it. Well, because there's spoilers and then there's the line you don't cross.
Hey, I am River Song all the way on this.
Yeah, spoilers. Fair enough.
Right.
Like I want to know I want to at least know that there's a new doctor coming. I don't want to know who the doctor is, but that's my spoiler line. I think everyone's got a spoiler line.
Yeah. You crossed it. It's okay. Keep going.
Oh, well, get over it. Okay. So now let's talk about the other addition to what I'm just kind of hoping they cancel the Mandalorian and just do the Ahsoka Tano. Tano.
Tano.
Tano. I hope they just do that show because I love this character. This is the coolest thing in the world. Now, I talked to a few people. They had no idea who this character was. And before I put this out to the world and we all talked about how amazing Rosario Dawson is at this character. She was in the Clone Wars. She was the apprentice to one Anakin Skywalker who became Darth Vader. Just to catch everybody up, because this is your journey begins here. A lot of people don't know what's going on this stuff. So to be fair, you're all caught. Are we caught up now, Chris? Or is there more stuff we need to know about this amazing, amazing character?
In terms of this show, that's all you really need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she's in a bunch of the cartoons, but that'll complicate things.
Yeah.
What you said is perfect.
Is there anything special? Okay, the visual on her holding the two swords, the two sabers, is just beautiful. That felt to me like this is what George Lucas wanted to make instead of the crappy post movies that don't exist to me. They're dead to me. After this episode, all of those other stuff is dead to me. We have the original 3, we have Rogue Squadron, and we have Mandalorian. That's all we need. And now I will watch Clone Wars because I have to now.
The reality, though, the thing that I found out was from my son, who is Star Wars lore, like he should be sitting in this chair instead of me. That kid, he said, "Dad, you need to watch the Clone Wars, the entire series. If you watch the entire series of the Clone Wars, it makes the prequels make sense." I haven't watched the Clone Wars, but I'm starting it because I just finished another series that I was binge watching, Game of Thrones. But
about time.
Now I'm going to watch the Clone Wars. And I'm going to see how this works. I'm going to see how it ties it in. Maybe it'll change me. I don't know. But I think we got a shot here because there was Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
That ties Ahsoka into a lot of what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk to the girls for a second. What is your gut reaction to this amazing new character? Because I know neither of you guys knew her at all beforehand. Let's start with the Cheeky Chi.
I was excited because I love Rosario Dawson, and I was really excited about that part of it. But thanks to Mr. Giorgetti here, I have started watching the Clone Wars and Rebels. And so I feel like I've really started to get to know some of these characters. So when she showed up, I was super excited. And then there's a line that we'll talk about later that she says, because she's looking for somebody specific. And my husband was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "I know,
Thrawn?
I know, yes."
Oh, we can say that, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah, we can say that, which we'll need to talk about that in a minute. So,
yeah. So thank you, Chris. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what about you, Satomi? What was your initial gut reaction to this amazing?
Well, when I first saw her, honestly, I was like, I recognize her from just like toys. Like I've seen action figures and pictures of that character before, and the whole time was going, okay, now I've got to figure out who she is, because I'm definitely one of those fans that I know the movies. That's where my Star Wars fandom comes from, and I haven't read the books and I haven't seen Clone Wars and Rebels. I will remedy that.
We all say
so in
that.
a way there was it'll happen after the other 15 shows I need to watch. But there was a
spoiler on everything.
Say that again?
How about if I just give you the spoiler on all those 15 shows you want to watch and go right to it?
I'm gonna encapsulate you in carbonite and just prevent you.
Yes, we got a carbonite reference.
Yep. And unfortunately, you're going to be in there for like a year because Mama got a lot of shows to watch. But
that's what happens when you get on a
I loved her. I loved her. I thought Rosario Dawson did an amazing job. I thought she looked so cool. I loved her character. I loved the vibe I was getting off of her. I loved her connection with Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the reason I bought the name is because of the way she said it.
So many times, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't that it was so many times. It wasn't like Grogu. It was like that's his name, Grogu.
Yeah.
There wasn't it wasn't a big deal. She didn't make it like she didn't, everybody his name is Grogu.
Yeah.
It's just it was
A big thing that they did, they said it, she made sure that she wasn't talking to Mando when she was saying, no, look, kid, you need to pick up the rock. She was talking to us when you say, no, you say Grogu. No, you just say Grogu. And it was very calming, but she wasn't talking to Mando. She was talking to all of us. Because if they don't have that hard start on it, he's never going to be anything but Baby Yoda.
That's true. That's true.
Ever.
It was sort of like she was there to go, it's okay, everybody. Shh, it's okay.
It's going to be okay. We got this.
It doesn't have to be the child. It's okay. Yoda's a different guy. It's okay.
I do like that she referenced Yoda, and that
Yes.
Yoda's species himself was incredibly rare. I really liked that because it kind of made it clear.
I have issues with that, honestly, though.
Really?
Of course you do.
Okay, no, this isn't me being whiny. This is, I say, as much of a non, super know everything guy that I'm not. I'm just not that guy. Weren't there 2 of Yoda's species in the original or the first prequel in the Jedi Council? I could have sworn there was Yoda and another one.
There was one.
Yeah, but
and E.T., but hey.
Well, E.T. was in there, of course.
I mean, aside from
so,
Yoda,
am I remembering that wrong?
No, you're correct. But
okay.
Beyond that, we know nothing about Grogu / Yoda's home world, where they're from, why they're so powerful with the Force. We know nothing, and I think that goes back to when George Lucas was doing Empire Strikes Back. He kind of just like, I need a character. Let's do Yoda. Like there was like, that's what I love about Grogu and Yoda's species. There's so much mystery involved. So when we do get like little bits and pieces, it's like, give us more.
Now,
do you think that they know that they've already created this backstory? Or do you think those writers are in there going, I don't know, let's do this with him because it's all just
I think it's pretty planned. Like we were talking about before, because they know that they're going to have this property for at least 10 to 15 seasons, because this is personally making Disney like $1 jillion or something. They're like, you know what? We're going to plan for 10 years ahead. We're going to bring Moffat in and he's going to tell us how to do this. And I think I don't think that they're just throwing anything at the wall. I think everything is very meticulously planned out.
Well, they're not making any money on merchandise.
None at all.
No, they're making no money off the merchandise whatsoever.
I don't have my T-shirt.
How will Disney survive?
Oh, I don't know. They'll think about it, I guess. Now my one complaint about this one, because I always have a complaint about every episode, was when Ahsoka, yeah, I can say that right. I can say Ahsoka, I don't have to say the whole thing.
Yes.
When she was sitting down talking to Grogu, I did not like what do you understand what he's saying? Well, in a way, again, that's going back to, I think that was lazy writing on that one. And I think that made her
I dug it.
I know everything, and I understood in a way, so anything I say is right. That was my only complaint on this entire episode, so that's really good for me.
That's funny because I really liked it.
Okay, fair enough.
I also loved it, and maybe it was like saying in a way, like, because Mando can't talk to Grogu via the Force, so maybe it's like, I don't know. I loved it.
That's fair enough.
I think she has a right, being who she is and who she was the Padawan to. Like, she's got that. I was Anakin's apprentice. Step off, homie.
Yeah. Which
knows.
But to be fair, that would mean nothing to Mando, which I think is, and I think that is awesome, because Mando is very much like most of this panel, like, okay, who's that? What do you want me to do about it?
Right.
And I think that's awesome, because that is a different perspective. Because she trained under Anakin and Obi-Wan. Cool. And
right.
what have you done for me lately? Okay, so we've kind of covered the beginning of this. Okay, now let's talk. Do we want to talk the music or do we want to talk the story first? I want to talk the music.
Story.
The story. Okay,
We can do or
Chris.
both.
Chris, go ahead. Where do you want to lead us to first? Take it, baby.
So there's I can't say enough. Like, I'm speechless with how good this is.
Yeah.
I was telling my fiance this while we were watching it this afternoon. This is what's in my mind Star Wars should be.
Mhm.
Like, it was perfect. Like,
what made it perfect to you?
What
made it perfect to you?
Yeah.
What made it perfect? It was the good. The story and how it was told was flawless. It wasn't confusing. They told it.
Bad guy was bad guy. Good guy was good guy.
Good guy.
Period.
Yeah, and
there was no gray.
Yeah, and when they were talking about Baby Yoda's backstory, it wasn't.
Grogu.
So, Grogu. I'm sorry, Grogu. I don't want to get magic.
Force choke you.
But like, they made the backstory simple and believable.
Yes.
Anybody could get. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was explained like that anyone could get, like, as we said, anyone could get it. And this is what the last film was missing, episode 9. It was missing just
the last trilogy. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I mean, this is what it, like I understand. It's rare that I'm speechless about something, but the way and the action, it wasn't like, I mean, they were in the beginning like lightsabers, but I'm like, lightsabers. But
and
then
that looked so cool.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And then let's talk about
Chris,
the duel.
Use your words.
Too.
Use your words, Chris.
Use the word. But like, it was a perfect balance of action, and everything meant something.
Exactly. There was no wasted air in this.
Yeah.
Except for possibly the number 2 guy, but we'll get to him in a minute. Let's first talk about the magistrate, who was Diana Lee Inosanto. I believe that's her name.
Yeah.
I butchered it.
I was super excited about her.
I loved her. She was so. By the way, she was the goddaughter of Bruce Lee when he was still alive.
I did not know that.
So she's definitely got some cred.
Because her dad was a martial artist, like well known, and he used to spar with Bruce Lee.
Yep. So there's definitely a lot of cred there, especially.
She is nothing to sneeze at.
I loved when you go into her palace, how it has the very garbage Japan fusion. You know, everything was definitely made out of garbage, but it was made to look like Japan. And I thought, we don't see this in Star Wars because it doesn't really go to culture like that. That was the first time that
actually a lot of Star Wars is based on Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The aesthetic of Star Wars is incredibly Japanese. When you look at like Luke's costume,
okay, with the samurai.
Yes, and also also the lightsabers, and also the philosophy is very Buddhist in a lot of ways. And even I was reading on some of the forums that a lot of people were seeing a lot of nods to Kurosawa films. In this particular episode, so it's sort of
it was a bit more in your face than normal. Than how
I will give you that. I will give you that.
And I liked it because I thought it was just so beautifully done, and it just felt so familiar and so just right, especially with the magistrate being who she was. The way she held the staff when she was fighting, it was just stunning.
The dance of that whole battle, the way they stayed very much like it looked very samurai-esque.
Yeah.
It was off of Kill Bill Part 1, I think, when she was fighting Lucy Liu. That was very similar.
We are right.
That's not meant as an insult. That's a compliment to me anyway.
Well, I think when you look at the fact that Diana Lee actually has done more, she's been in more movies as a stunt person
Yeah.
than an actress. She really brings that home in such an exquisitely beautiful way.
Mm-hmm. And
She should be acting more because she
she's
was
good.
wonderful in the role.
She was really good.
Well, I mean, I've seen her before in other things, and she's very pretty. But when on this, there was something that she just put in her eyes that made her feel evil.
Dangerous.
That's acting right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, wow. And this is one of those things I can talk about a lot. I don't know what it is about this character, but I was just wrapped. I want to see more, but I'm guessing she's dead. I don't know.
We
don't
didn't see that. She could come back.
Because she's definitely got some baggage, and she will. I mean, she's rebuilt her empire several times from what they were implying in this. So she's just going to come back. So if he didn't kill her, then that's kind of an evil thing.
I think it was, for me, the matter of factness of how she was just willing to dispose of people. It wasn't like an absolute threat. It was just like, when she said it, these people mean nothing to me. And you
Very
felt
ominous.
it and you believed it.
Yeah.
Like, no, she gave me chills.
Yeah. And I did love with their duel, one of the things that I really loved, they didn't lean on any like supernatural moves. Like maybe there was one jump, but everything was really straightforward swordplay.
Yep. There was no force pushing. There was no. It was straight up combat.
And and one thing they really, really did right. It was two girls having an amazing battle, but it was never like a girl power move. It was like these two are just hardcore. You know, they'd be fighting a dude and it'd be the same fight. And I thought there was something that to me is the most endearing. You know, everyone makes the joke that I don't like strong female characters, which is not true. I like characters like this, that they're both fighting and they're not doing it. They're not better because they're girls. They're better because they're better. And that's what I want to see in my strong female characters. And if that was for Courtney and Lies, you can shut up now.
But it's also, because of how exquisite that battle was, I really liked that Lang and Mando's battle was so simple.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Clunky. It was clunky.
And I thought that was just genius. Because your attention wasn't being drawn to this epic battle and this epic battle. It was just very straightforward, very simple. It was almost like Raiders a little bit with the whip. It was
a little bit High Noon, you know. With the
which is funny because that was
gunslinger.
Michael Biehn, and he played Johnny Ringo in Tombstone, so he knew that.
That's who that was.
Yep. Or if you're really old, we go back to Terminator 1.
Yes.
Wait, who was he in Terminator 1?
John, the father of John.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking. Yep.
Now,
I didn't catch it. I'm back.
Again, going back when they have these like second characters. You know, going back, this is the same thing my complaint was with Gina Carano and with a lot of these especially in the beginning until they seem like they find their character. I feel like the dialogue feels very clunky when they're giving an order. I don't remember what his first line was, but it was kind of the equivalent to, hey, you guys need to go over there because we're going to do something evil. And that's kind of how that dialogue felt. They have a habit of doing that on this show. I don't know if that's a director thing or what, but anyone picked up on that one?
No, I mean the gunslinger character, the one we were talking about. He served his purpose. I personally was so like in awe of everything. I found it hard to make any critiques of the episode.
Yeah.
But going back quickly to the Ahsoka, Tana, fight, the one detail I loved is as they're fighting and when they panned back to Mando and the other guy, like you could still hear the fight.
Yes.
And I just love how the other guy was like, "So who do you think's gonna win?"
Right.
And they didn't make a move till it was done.
Yeah, it was. Oh, so good. Like, because you don't
Yeah.
see that in every other Star Wars thing. It's like you see lightsaber, and then it cuts to something else, and then it does lightsaber. This was in real. Oh, so good.
Now, they did make a definite choice there, and I don't know if I would have made the same choice if I was writing or directing, but it was a definite choice when they said they waited until the end. They go, okay, well, I don't know if I'm on the right side or not, but whoever wins, that's who wins. Blah blah. And then, oh, well, I guess mine lost. So he puts down the gun. They could have stopped it there, but he had to go for the last move. And I think there was more of a redemption. Like, okay, well, I'm just like you. I am a paid fighter. That's all I am.
Yep.
And I wish that's the choice I would have went with, is he would just let off and just walked off.
Right, but like whenever she gives him the spear and he says, I didn't earn it, I think there's that gunslinger.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do that because that would have been a surrender. So he knew what he was doing.
Oh no, well, I'm not talking about Mando. I'm talking about the other
talking
guy.
about no, I am talking about the other guy.
Oh, okay.
Because it's that same vein of that like gunslinger lore
Ethos.
and who they are. Yeah. So there's no way it could have ended that way, because then Lang would have surrendered.
Yeah.
And there was no way he was going to.
No.
He went out fighting.
See, I think they're laying breadcrumbs right now, because I'm sorry if I'm prematurely bringing us to this conversation, but it's going back to morality, and that's been a really consistent thing going throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And they really start delving into it in this when Ahsoka has that conversation with Grogu.
Yeah.
And when Mando wants her to take him,
mm-hmm.
and she starts talking about, what happens when people care. So because of that, what happens when people care, that right there is again part of all of that patchwork, all of that groundwork for, we are going to be talking about what are the choices that you make.
Yeah.
And in that particular case, the dude made the choice. He made a conscious choice after he said he knew it was the wrong side.
Yeah.
After
so
he
knew
said he knew what he was doing was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew it. So I think what they're trying to do is, it's kind of like, red shirts are always there so that the audience knows what happens when the monster jumps out.
Yeah. Somebody gonna die.
Awful fate that awaits them.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta die. So that there's that pressure, so that there's those stakes. And I think he's just part of the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that was missing was really Mando landed and he turned around and saw him, and he just looked at him and said, and he calls out who he is, and he says, I'm a Huckleberry. And they just like go
Johnny Ringo.
Like just straight up Johnny Ringo, and tombstoned it out, because that's what it seemed like to me. Did he not spin his blaster before he put it in?
He did.
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
You're gonna watch it again though.
Yeah. But in terms of the morality thing, for weeks Dub has been suggesting that Baby Yoda might be evil, and in this episode, I think he's right.
Somebody was right.
Dub was right, because Ahsoka said something along the lines of like,
"I don't want to train him." Yeah,
I sense much fear in you, and I'm like, oh my god, it makes sense. Dub was right. So let me be the first to say, Dub, you were right.
That is not what I said when it happened. I said, bad word, I hate it when Dub is right.
Let's just roll back to a certain prequel where a green Jedi says the same thing about Anakin.
And he was right.
And he was right.
Although, let's go back to what I was just talking about, which is, it all depends on the choices you make.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like courage. You're a brave person when you're afraid, not when you're fearless.
Yeah, look at Luke. He had those same choices.
Yes, okay. And he was scared. Don't tell me that boy wasn't scared. Wasn't pooping his pants.
I'm gonna blow up all your minds again. Okay, now I've went on my tirade that I think that he could be evil, that he's definitely got choices to make. I think that because we've never seen the Mandalorians and the Jedi working on the same side, I think this is going to be the difference maker, and because of Mando's morality, and he's the only one in the show that has been 100%. He has the same morality no matter what. If he teaches that to Grogu, I think that we fixed it, and that we have, the prophecy is true with it being able to be on the dark and the light, and being able to wield both.
Ooh.
Because they've always been separate, because the Mandalorians have always been on one side and the Jedis have always been on the other. This is the Romeo and Juliet. This is the first time they've gotten together.
Oh my god.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I've never seen Chris make that face.
Possibilities though
And
of this one episode, and what Dub just said, like after
I love
watching
this. This is my favorite thing.
after watching it the second time today, and watching Ahsoka talk about how she's not going to train Baby Yoda for the reason, sorry,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my god, they might. It's like they're gonna blow our minds, because you saw how fast Grogu took that little silver ball from
Yeah.
and I was just
Mando.
like, oh my god, he's powerful. He's gonna mess things up at some my god. And we haven't even gotten Giancarlo Esposito's character for more than 5 seconds on the show. What's gonna happen when he comes back into oh my god, Baby Yoda's gonna do
knows
something.
Somebody knows something about this little dude, because
Yeah.
last episode, what were they looking at in those tubes?
The M
the-
chromosome.
Yeah, they're looking for those
midichlorians.
the midichlorians from the little green dude, Grogu, because there's something about him. And maybe that gray midichlorian that they need, that brings both the good and the bad, that's going to make this ultimate
warrior. Yeah. Which means, Chris, I have a question for you. So where she says, sorry, we're just running you ragged. Where she says it's better if he just forgets how to use it and it will just fade. So in your opinion, well, all of your opinions, if that happens, does that mean his blood is going to be useless as well?
No.
No.
I think what Ahsoka was trying to do, and I could be wrong with everything I'm about to say. I think she was trying to say, no, let's not train him. Let's, because the Jedi Order are gone. So it's we don't need another person to be brought into this. Let's just let him fade into obscurity so that way no one knows about him. But as Mando said, the Empire, the Jedi are gone and the Empire is gone, but the Empire's still hunting him.
Yeah. Okay.
So I get that Ahsoka wanted to try to make Baby Yoda low key so no one could find him, but I have a feeling someone's gonna find him. and the other thing at the end of the episode where she's go to this planet and let him touch the stone and maybe a Jedi will come after him. She didn't say if the Jedi was good or evil, alive or dead,
because he would choose his own path.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we're not looking at, as far as going back to the original question when we were talking, we can let the powers fade off. Everybody in this room is a musician, so I can use this example. If you go years and years and years without practicing your instrument or your voice or whatever it is, you still have those midichlorians in your system. You still are an artist.
Yeah.
But you haven't exercised it, so it's basically worthless.
Rusty.
That makes sense.
And maybe you're still going to pass that on to your children, and maybe they're still going to have that genetic predisposition to being a musician. But unless you are doing the stuff, it doesn't matter. So yes, I think he would still have the midichlorians, but that just would mean he is not good at it anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they also Ahsoka also said, Grogu's been hiding his powers to stay hidden too. So
and that's fear.
Yeah, there's so many things they could do. I saw something that they're oh, maybe Mace Windu's gonna come back, and I'm just
I hope he does, but not for that.
So Here's my thing.
Maybe for that. Dang it! Crap.
Here's my thing. Mace Windu fell off a 3-mile tall building while getting electrocuted. He is dead. His physical body's dead, in my opinion. If he comes back as a Force ghost, I'll be like, all right, I'm on board for this. But there's no. What I loved is about this episode. We have no idea what's coming next. We have no idea.
We all do know the very unfamily friendly thing that does say at the bottom of Mace Windu's lightsaber, and I'm just saying it's the same thing it says on his wallet. So if anybody's gonna survive that,
it's gonna be Mace.
We'll see.
The only man with a purple lightsaber. Why do you have a purple lightsaber? Because I want a purple lightsaber. Okay, now let's move on to the part that broke my heart. This was the episode that Satomi's said it before. You know, he's very fatherly in these in a lot of these moments. This is the moment he became a dad. Yeah. He was wrapping him up. He was putting on his coat, and you could tell the way that Pedro Pascal was playing that, you could feel him crying underneath his mask. He was a daddy at that moment, and there is no coming back from that moment. He is daddy now. And you saw, I think that Ahsoka saw him and felt that moment and said, I'm not, and she was going to take him. I'm not going to take this moment from you. He belongs with you. Go do what you got to do. That was her gift to him.
I felt that too. The moment when he said, you know, it's time to say goodbye, I started crying. Like I started crying. Oh, lies.
Somebody was cutting onions.
But yeah, because she came, in my opinion, I felt the exact same thing. Like she was coming to get him. Mm-hmm. And then she was just like there was this shift, because she gave no indication when he said, I'll go get them or go get him. She gave no indication that there was any sort of hesitation.
And she said, you're like a father to him. And, you know, Jedi, because they're taken away from their family, they know how important that father-mother figures is.
You know what got me actually was as he was walking back on the ship, and there was that little interchange with Grogu and Ahsoka, that it was literally like he was saying thank you, and she gave that smile, and that's when I was like, oh yeah.
That was the moment.
Yeah, no, that was done at that moment. It wasn't. I think it wasn't planned.
Well, even her smile when she walked away, it was like there was hope there. So then when you said
a new hope.
When you said what you said that blew all of our minds about him being the balance, you really felt that, like that smile that she had.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. I know you've been.
All I was going to say was what made that moment so emotional for me was the music of like this, of the Mandalorian theme as like this medieval recorder, like it was so beautiful. The music was amazing.
I wanted that to be the season finale, to be honest.
Yeah. It was like, because how do you top this? We'll find out.
Not next week. We're not gonna. You guys, I'm calling it now. Next week will be a filler episode, and we're all gonna be mad. Just saying. You can't go out. You can't.
But they're still gonna set some stuff up.
No, it's gonna be a setup, but it's definitely gonna. It's not gonna be what we've seen.
Maybe if we're lucky, it'll be sort of like, you know how sometimes they kind of do a 2-parter.
Ooh,
maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really, the story is just too much to be told in one episode.
No, we have 3 episodes, so yeah.
I think it's going to be a filler.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm saying this because I want people to go into it thinking it's going to be a filler, because then if it's not, everybody's happy. But I'd rather people expect that filler than, because let's be honest, the first 2 episodes of this season were filler. You know, and that's a weird choice to start off your most popular franchise with filler on 2 episodes and then just blow up like this.
In my line of work, we call that under promise, over deliver.
We had I will take lengthy exposition and then I think I'm okay if next week's a filler, because we all need to just come down. Let it cool for a little bit, because the last 2 episodes are going to be I
hope it's a 2-parter. Oh,
it
I
ha-
hope it's a two-parter.
oh,
And I want to see. Okay, let me ask this question. Let's say we're going into the home stretch. Who do you want to see in these last couple of episodes that we've been introduced to, and even that we've seen in the first season? Who do you want to? Who is there? Anybody really important that you want to see?
there are two people.
Okay,
Two people. Boba Fett.
thank you.
Because you can't tease him like that, and
then nothing.
Yeah, and I want to see more of Moff Gideon.
Yeah,
I don't, because I'm gonna call it now. If we see Admiral Thrawn, it's gonna be like the last 3 seconds, and he's gonna have like some really cool one-liner, and then it's gonna fade to black.
And that's gonna be the last moment we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Actually, you know
And
what?
they will have captured Yoda.
Who
Grogu.
wants to do it? Somebody needs to say elevator presentation. Who is Admiral Thrawn? Because I know a lot of people don't know who that is.
Admiral Thrawn was first created in 1993 by author Timothy Zahn.
Elevator, shorten.
Since then, he has become one of Star Wars' most beloved villains, as seen in the Clone Wars, Rebels, and now the Mandalorian.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure, because I know a lot of people don't know any of the other stuff, so that's why I want to.
Yeah.
Because Admiral Thrawn, who's that?
He's ambiguous. Like, he's trying to do what's right for his people, but he has no scruples about doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And truth be told, I have not read the Thrawn books.
Mm-hmm.
I've only known him in Rebels. And he's so...
Yeah.
He's going to have his own discussion, I feel like.
I think whichever one is the Thrawn episode, we're going to have Courtney on, because she has a bizarre, weird, evil crush on him. I don't know. Weird. You heard that.
Our Courtney likes a bad boy.
Yeah, a little bit. I want to see Bo. What's her name? I want to see the Mandalorians.
Bo-Katan.
I want to see them come back.
Bo-Katan.
I want to see them face off against Osaka.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
I almost got it right. I apologize.
Almost.
I know there's a couple people that are probably mad at me. Get over it. Go watch one of those other shows that can bore you and tell you every Easter egg, and that's not fun. We have fun on these shows. I want to see that face off happen. Really, really, really bad. Yeah. Anybody else you guys want to see that on the final few episodes? Satomi.
I mean, I think Giorgetti hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it on the head. I mean, I wouldn't mind having Ahsoka come back, because I just really liked her.
So
and
much.
what I liked is that, some contemporary actors come in and it's like, wow, you're a contemporary actor doing this character. And she's a contemporary actor who came in and
played
fit into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she always does. And Marvel universe too. I'm impressed with her on that.
Yeah.
She's not Rosario Dawson when you see her on the screen. She is the character, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Skeeter, what about you, bud?
I really think that if Filoni continues to have his way with the direction, with writing, with all the fun stuff, I truly believe, even though I want to see Fett come back big time, like that's the one I want to see the most, because I'm old school. But I really think it's Ezra. What was his name? I have notes. Bridger.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Rebels, I think Ezra Bridger and of course Thrawn. Those are the two that we're going to see come back. Like you said, that little snapshot at the end, we're going to see the red eyes and the blue skin and fade to black.
Yeah.
I think that's the Jedi that is going to come to the Rock to meet Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't only if Filoni has his way.
And I still think that no matter who meets him at the Rock, I think we're going to have the same line that we heard Mando once say: "Wherever the child goes, I go."
Yeah, no, I don't think that is going to ever change. I think
it shouldn't.
As soon as that separated, like if
show's over,
went with Ahsoka it's over.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Although I think Grogu's going to be kidnapped.
I still think that there's a lot of validity to that. I think he might get kidnapped from The Rock too.
Yeah.
I'm sad now. Miss Cheeky
Dwayne Johnson is going to. Sorry, that was really bad.
Goes to Sean Connery.
Oh my god!
Too soon.
Too soon. Too
So
soon.
bad.
Christina, who do you want to see on this last couple episodes?
Okay, so Cara Dune, I noticed something, and I'm probably way behind on the times because I don't always watch it with my glasses. But I noticed she has a little tiny tattoo under her eye.
Yeah.
And
she killed the guy in prison. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it's the
it's the rebel.
Yeah, it's the rebellion. But then I was reading this whole like lore from somebody else that they were like, this is like her tear for Alderaan, and there's so much more to her story that we haven't heard. And so I'm kind of excited to see that develop. I definitely don't think that's going to be a major play, but I'm kind of liking her. I want to see it. Yeah. And I'm really wanting to see them take it more. So I was hoping that maybe she was going to be that filler episode.
Oh, maybe
like we might learn some more of her story. So that's my hope for the filler episode. But then other than that, yeah, definitely with Chris. That it's going to be Boba Fett and Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, the Cara Dune character has grown on me so much. I know there's some controversy or whatever. Honestly, I don't even know what she said. I don't care. I love the character. I think she's doing great in the, and you know, if we all succeed in canceling everybody, we get to lose these great characters that we love, and it's just the character. What's I saying? Oh yes. Okay, now we do the final part of our show where we grade this episode. I don't think there's. Should we save time? Is anybody not giving this an A+? Okay, Chris.
I'm not giving it an A+. I'm giving it an A quadruple plus.
This is the best episode we've seen. I don't think you can go anything lower. You disagree there, Skeeter, or did you just agree with me?
I'm going with a solid A. Only reason, plot holes. And I don't know if this was in writing or if this was, and it was on purpose completely, but with what happened to we never found out. Did she die? Did she get put in a cage? Where'd she go once?
I don't know if that's a hole. I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose.
I think they may have, and I mean that to me, like I was all, I kind of got lost there because I really wanted to find out what happened. Yeah, exactly. And then it just goes right back to wherever we were, and I'm all, wait a minute, that's crazy. Because then we just had this guy getting frocked with his cape and him becoming the new magistrate.
Yeah, that I thought that happened a little fast. You're like, huh?
Yeah. I think he already was the original magistrate because he was the one
he was helping people, yeah,
and he was the one that was going to step up before Mando jumped in.
Yeah,
which was a nice touch.
But I will say this was the writing in this one by far was probably the most unpredictable of all of the episodes this season, which really changed the game for it, which leaves a lot of room for.
Yeah,
I can't give it an A quadruple plus, Chris. I'm sorry, because I think it's coming. I think that for me is on the way. So,
yeah, I think the final episode is going to be off the chain.
Yeah.
I mean, I will gladly re-rank these last 4 episodes if it comes to it. But I stand by my A quadruple plus. This is what Star Wars, I think, should be. Everything, the story was simple. You could follow it. You didn't have to know all of the stuff like we do to understand there's more to the story. It was intriguing and you were hooked from start to finish. And the music, I know we didn't get to talk about the music of the episode. Ludwig Göransson better win all of the awards for this series because he is doing some fantastic score work.
One thing I have to say about the music, and this is the only thing I'll say, because we're all gush about the music and we're like kind of hyper geeks on that, but the way that they made that bell an instrument when they were hitting the alarm bell, exactly on time, and it just had that tone, and I'm like, it was.
And then even when she split it in half,
it was primal.
It made it even more effective because it had been so integrated into the score. So
and
to
even
have
when
that,
it dropped, it was in time, and I'm like, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see y'all next week. No, then check out our Patreon, do all our other stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. I need a cigarette after this. This episode's fantastic.
This is definitely the way.
I am Dub, and I'm here with Chris Giorgetti. I'm here with Satomi. I'm here with my buddy Skeeter and the Miss Cheeky Chi. Keep on geeking on, guys. This is the way. See you next week for another barn burner, or not.
Hello, our geek rock stars. I'm Satomi Hoffman with I Heart Geek, and we heart you. And I'm going to tell you about a way that you can heart us back. So here's the deal. I Heart Geek has just launched our Patreon page. This is a chance for you to help us with production costs and help us keep bringing these podcasts to you. Not a lot of people know it. We don't make any money making this podcast, but we do it because we heart geek, we heart bringing it to you, and we heart obsessing over the things that you heart. So how do you become involved? Super simple. There are 4 tiers of support. The first tier of support is only $3 a month, about the price of a cup of coffee if you don't go to Starbucks. And we will love you like we love Baby Yoda, except for Blythe, who doesn't feel the Baby Yoda love, which... So now tier 2 is $5 a month, which now we're talking like a drip coffee and a cookie. And for that, we'll display your name during the show and also put you in the end credits. Name recognition, y'all. Now tier 3, $10 a month. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. We will actually take your suggestions and we will put them in the rotation of the show. So whatever you obsess about, which we already probably obsess about, we will obsess about on air. All right, now we're talking tier 4. We're talking the Triforce Excalibur Infinity Gauntlet level of subscription. $20 a month will get you as a regular rotational cast member on the show. We'll have you come on, we'll discuss the things that you heart, the things that we heart, we'll argue, we'll laugh, we'll have a great time, and you will have made I Heart Geek better for your subscription. And of course you can tell all your friends, hey, haha, I'm on a podcast. So there you have it. 4 easy ways to help I Heart Geek become a listener-supported podcast, and you get something in return. We heart you, we thank you, we heart geek, and remember to keep on geeking on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the I Heart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.